could tell you, or I could tell you what I've been through, but at the end of the day, your life is your life. My life was my life. But just know, they always say, my dad will always, if you can't reach all, if I reach one, I'm okay with that.
For sure.
First instinct is just like, I didn't think about it. And I was like, that's what we're talking about. That's our process elimination. That's your first thing. We need to think before you react. And if you're able to do that, but that also goes back with coping skills. So being able to get your coping skills and understand what yours are, because everybody's coping skill is different.
The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I said the harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I said you're up and I'm up. Y'all now tuned in to the Grind Hard Dream Big Show. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I got a special guest in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
My name is Courtney, and I live in PG County, born and raised in Columbia, South Carolina. And I moved up here maybe middle school-ish, kind of, sort of. My older sister and them played basketball. So Maryland was like the middle for us. So, and she played in Jersey. So.
Okay. That's all right. Well, tri-state going on. That's all right. That's all right.
Absolutely. So
that's all right.
Been in PG since then.
Okay. So, like, your upbringing, like, your childhood, like school or, like, hobbies, what were some of those things that you found yourself doing as a child?
What I felt doing the most, running track was one of my biggest things. Track, cheerleading. As I got out of high school, I started playing flag football. So that was something that was completely new to me. So recently, that's my hobby. Flag football is my everything. I did tear my ACL 2 years ago, so I kind of been on a injury reserve trying to get back in, but that's definitely my motivation, like my push when I need to, reiterate myself and think about, the next going to keep me moving. Football is definitely it, for sure. I love it. I love it.
Okay. No, that's dope. And that's definitely different because, flag football, I know that is definitely popping. Like, before it wasn't.
We DMV popping.
Now it's popping.
Yeah,
that's
for
dope.
sure.
That's fire. That's fire. So, like, with those hobbies, like, you enjoyed playing and things like that. Like, did you have a sense of community early?
Yes. Absolutely. My mom, when we moved up here, she was into the group home. She worked in the group home. So she would bring the girls to our house. We would go to the group homes and hang out with them, to build that community. My mom pretty much brought us into that. So ever since then, it was just like, that's what stuck with us. So we just been real big on it. And then as I got older, leaving out of high school, I went and I did an intern at an elementary school. So from there, that's when I started getting involved with more so the community.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So that was the pivot, kind of like a transition for you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So then the minute that that happened, like, what was the moment where you felt like, okay, this is what I'm going to do and I've arrived? Like,
when she passed away, it was like, that was my calling, my nature. Like, a lot of people would say, like, oh, you just like your mom, trying to help others. And that's just one thing, always looking out for other people and pushing other people more than myself. So it was just like giving the youth that push. And then once I got into the special education school where I worked with boys and girls, being able to give to both of those and seeing the lifestyle from the youth, as well as not just them, their families as well. So it wasn't more so just the kids, just saying overall. That was something that just stuck to me. And it was like, Courtney, you got to do more. Courtney, you got to do more. Laying down in bed just thinking of, like, is my kids going to be okay? I call all of them my kids. So, and I have 3 boys of my own. So that's a whole nother thing of, like, I just got to make sure that they good as well, because this world don't love nobody, and especially for the youth, with kids dying as young as 4 and 5, and they just playing outside, and due to gun violence is always hard, and I'm just like, that's not right.
Nah, for sure. Like I said, for me, like coming up as a kid, I definitely like playing basketball. I was always outside, so street lights on. Of course, you had to be home because if you wasn't home, mama was on you. You know what? No, I mean, so
you gotta be
like
home
that
when the
type.
street lights come on.
When the street lights come on, you better be on because if you didn't,
Exactly.
she coming outside and she come outside, it's a problem.
She
know
coming
what I mean?
to look for
She coming
you.
to look for you. So yeah, but understanding being outside as a kid, playing basketball, things like that, I like that.
Absolutely.
Never had dreams about being in the NBA, but I knew that like playing basketball was the way I socialized with my homies and have a good time with that. I always found myself reading and writing, talking. So it's like, oh, thank you, God. Now it's
Right.
fullback circle. You know what I mean?
It
So
all
that's
together,
cool.
right.
It came all together. But I definitely agree with you because I think with the youth now, they're growing up faster than what we can ever imagine. Like
Very
this
fast.
technology is different. I mean, yeah, we had MySpace, we had Facebook, we
did.
Twitter.
We did.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got Instagram and TikTok, and they sitting there doing all these challenges
Right.
and all this stuff, and it's
Dancing.
like, well, what is that? I don't even know that. I had to grow up to that. So
Right.
like, y'all teaching me stuff, but I think that they're growing up so fast that they have so much access.
They do.
And it's scary.
It's a lot. They
It's
have
scary.
a lot. And that's another thing, being able, the kids that come in, I know like some of the kids who I've worked with and been with, they'll be like, so-and-so happened on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. And I be like, so why y'all just don't delete them? You know, you don't have to be their friend. You don't have to associate yourself with these people or this group, especially if you don't like them. All y'all have to do is just be able to be in the same place. You know, we're at school. This is a school place. You're not here for that. You're here for your education. That's your main thing. And to honestly hear that a lot of kids don't really want to go to school is insane. Like, that's not their main goal, but they'd rather do everything that they can do on social media. It's like that's their first priority. They like, so-and-so got rich from being on TikTok, or so-and-so getting rich from Instagram, you know, and things like that. You don't never really hear them saying, oh, I could get my education and then I could do X, Y, Z, or this is my goal. It's just more so, forget school. I don't need it anyway.
Yeah,
So,
that's because, some of them kids be watching Lil Ryan and Cassinet and Mr. Beast and
Right.
Barman and all them people. You know what I'm saying? I'm hip, I'm aware because,
Right.
kids, they be talking and I be like, all right, you know
Like,
what I'm saying?
who?
But you're not even understanding how much work they got to sit there and put in.
Exactly.
All them hours, and you still going to have to learn how to read. You still going to have to learn how to write. You still going to have to
Exactly.
learn how to do the math because sometimes y'all
Exactly.
math is not math.
It's not
I'm just
mathing.
saying, like, it's a lot
Math
out
is
here.
not mathing.
And I'm like, okay, wait, you writing what? Can you sign your name? Can we do that?
Exactly.
It'd be a lot that's going on, but I think that, like I said, it's all in front of their face. It's instantaneous. So because it's that, they want it quick, fast, and hurry.
Absolutely.
They think everything is a fast food spot. Nah,
Exactly.
It's not that. Nah,
And
take your time.
That's definitely one of the main things. They definitely feel that, oh, I could go get this fast money. And I'm like, so what do you really think about fast money? Like, what's your goal after that? And none of them can really tell you a goal of what's after that. And honestly, I just be like, you want that fast money? There's only two things that come to that. And that's either you're going to be dead, sad to say, or you're going to be in jail. Those are your only two options. And it's just like being able to give them the real instead of giving them something, a fantasy that, no, you should do that. You should. Absolutely not. There's more to that. Your life is more valuable, than what you think it is. And it's definitely more to the streets. I understand a lot of you don't have your parents, or you have the wrong group that you're growing around and things like that. So definitely.
Yeah, and I think that what influences it a lot, like you said, is like social media or the music that they listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I know the kids nowadays, they sit there and tell me like, yeah, my favorite artist is Rod Wave. I'm like, okay.
Right.
I know who he is. He cool, you know what I'm saying? But can I get some happy songs from him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to...
A little bit.
I get the music though. I get it though. I get it. I've been there.
For sure.
I get it. But it's just like understanding that, or like who they listen to and what they watch. I'm like, nowadays y'all just watching people live their best lives and y'all don't even want to live it.
Y'all don't want to
Like,
live it.
Cooking with Cayenne, is that what it is? I don't know if
Cooking
I
with Kaya.
Cooking with Kaya. I'm like, yo.
Cooking with all you get.
Cooking with Kaya.
Kaya.
I'm like, what's going on? Like, y'all sitting there watching everybody else live their lives. Like, when the
Exactly.
kid broke down ASMR. I'm like, they go to the restaurant and eat food, and you're just pushing play on YouTube watching them eat food.
And watching
If
them.
you don't sit there and go get some crabs yourself and go eat them crabs, like what's wrong
Go
with
get
you?
a seafood bowl.
Yeah, like what's going on?
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
It is. It really is.
So, like, what are some of the issues you think that the youth are facing, like, besides that? Because, like I said, you interact with youth and things like that. What are some of the things you feel like are hindering the growth?
Guidance. I think guidance is the biggest one. Love. A lot of them don't get that love that they need. So especially with guidance, a lot of them just feel like there's nowhere to go. There's no reason for them to live if there's not somebody that's inspiring to them. And for the ones that are helping, like myself and you, it's like they don't see that. They see it, but not really, because it's like I still see what I've been grown around. So their parents, like if they don't have a parent, they don't have a mom, they don't have a dad, they're looking for that. And sometimes you look in the wrong spots. And sad to say, most people do go to the streets because they feel as if that's where they'll get their love from. And those people, they'll bring them in as their family. And they do look out for them. They help them. They groom them and do all of these things that they feel is right. But sometimes it's not all right. And especially once you get caught up into something and now you're trying to switch the gear, you're trying to turn it around and you're trying to figure out, and they're not there for you. Yeah, they could put money on your books, but they're not going to visit you. They're not going to give you those hugs and those kisses and things like that. A lot, even for like young boys, they don't get kisses like that. It's like, nah, don't give me. I kiss my kids every day. Every day. And it's just like, that's what y'all are going to be used to, helping them understand of what's their daily living looking like. So they know what to expect. When mommy's gone, this is what my mom provided for me. And this is what I shouldn't expect nothing more, so that's what I definitely think.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I definitely said the guidance because, like I said, like, it'd be a lot that be messing with youth. Sometimes I'm like, okay, you got young boys out here that's not even opening doors. Like, what's wrong with that?
Exactly.
Or like mannerism, or like I sit there and I see you, good morning. Like you can't even sit there and say good morning either. You just walking past, mad at the world. It's 8:30 in the morning. Like who messed up your lemonade?
What's wrong? I gotta get up and go to school.
Right.
I didn't get breakfast. I understand,
yeah.
but guess what? Let's flip it. Because we can both go get breakfast. We could go do what you need to do.
Facts. No, I agree. I think it's that mannerism and guidance, I think. And then there's like people showing them the right way. And just understanding like the message. I think a lot of it now is just like, who's it going to come from? And it's like the relatability. Like a lot of the kids be like, oh, you understand me because you're younger. You're not like somebody that's just trying to talk at me. I'm like, all right. No. I said, okay, play with the stove if you want to. It's hot for a reason. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's hot. It's hot. Nobody told you to play with it. You decided to do that. But that's on you. I'll tell you what the trial and error is. It's up to you to listen. Absolutely. So I think that's what it is, sometimes. And then just, like I said, relating to them, the best way you can. So I just tell kids all the time, like, you could be a bottle of water or you could be a bottle of soda. I don't want you to be a bottle of soda because you're going to be angry and explode. Be a bottle of water and be cool, calm, and collective. But you got to learn through that.
You definitely got to learn. You definitely have to learn. And I could tell you, and I always tell them, look, I could tell you, or I could tell you what I've been through, but at the end of the day, your life is your life. My life was my life. But just know, they always say, my dad will always, if you can't reach all, if I reach one, I'm okay with that.
For sure.
And that always stick with me. If I can't reach any, I'm at least try and get one. If I could get one, I'm okay with that. For
sure. And I know that that's hard because, like I said, working with youth, like, God bless your heart. Like, that's why I be trying. Cause like these little, they different.
They are.
Curious cats, dangerous dogs. They are different.
Everything about it.
They're fearless.
They are.
They're eager to learn, and they're not taking no for an answer.
They don't. No is terrible to them. They don't want to hear no. They crash out for no. Mm-hmm. So I hear a lot of them say, they're like, so what are some things, that make you saying no? Well, you're going to hear that from me all the time because it's definitely not a yes. So it takes a special person, you know.
Yeah.
My aunt, she'll call me and she'll say, "How was your day today?" And I, tell her about it. She like, "Man, you got a gift from God, because I don't see how you do it."
Yeah.
She was like, "I couldn't do it." And I'm just like, "Auntie, I'm here for a reason." You
Right.
know.
Cause someone would be like, "Oh yeah, better you than me."
Right. They hit the
Oh
better
my
you
goodness,
than
yeah,
me.
better you than me. Like, oh my gosh, you sitting there doing everything. You sitting there,
Exactly.
you helping them like that. You doing life with them. You doing life with them.
Exactly. Like that's where I go back to. A lot of people be like, I'll say my kids. They're my kids. You know, I don't leave. They're not my physical kids, but they're still my kids in
Yeah,
general.
they're your responsibility.
Overall,
for sure.
they're my responsibility. As soon as they come into my life, I love them as if they're my own, and that's just how I always take it in.
Got you. And like, is there like the age range? Is it like middle school, high school? Like, is it adults too, or is it like
In all,
okay?
all.
Gotcha, for sure.
My last job, I worked with elementary school kids to age of 21. So seeing a lot of people don't really think you like 5 years old, and I'm like, yeah, it's some kids at 5. You really think when you look into it, you like the trauma really starts in like middle school, high school. But if you really think about it, it starts when we're younger than that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then all of those feelings, those emotions, traumas and things build up to where when we're in middle school and high school, now we're able to crash out and we're doing what we feel like we want to do, and nobody gonna stop us. Who gonna stop us? Me, because I'm gonna do it.
Right.
And I always say that. So a lot of people, they be like, you gonna throw yourself out there? Absolutely, I sure will. When they go to fight and things like that, I'm one of the first ones there, and I will hop in a second to make sure, because that is unacceptable. But we're gonna go mediate about it, because all it takes is a conversation. Because a lot of y'all beef is not even beef. It's just you said something on Instagram and blah blah blah, and I didn't like. It's not real beef.
No.
So
I mean, some of them, it's a cry for help. It's attention too. Some of them don't get that. Some of them don't get that at all. And you wondering why they tweaking early. Like, they just tweaking early. As soon as the day just started, they already on you. Da 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 da.
Right.
They're so antsy. It's like, if you don't go sit down somewhere.
Absolutely. Like, why are you mad? It's 8:00 in the morning. So and so did this. Come give
Relax.
me a hug. Come give me a hug.
Yeah.
Let's get a hug.
Yeah, and I think it's also that self-expression. So I tell kids all the time, like, just to meet them where they are and take them where they deserve. And it's just like, if they need that 5 minutes just to unwind, go ahead, give them the 5 minutes, because like, it'd be
Definitely.
a lot. It'll help a lot though.
It's
gonna be more
help.
beneficial for you in the long run, because you can be like, all right, I can get through what I can get through, and you can get through what you need to get through, and we on the same team, and we good.
For sure, they'd definitely be like, Miss Courtney, just give me 5 minutes, and then I'd be like, okay, I'll give you a 5. Then you come in, we talk about it if you want to. No push. If that's something, that you feel that you need, then by all means do that. I'd rather you take 5 than to come crash out for 20 minutes or however else longer, and then we in a whole different situation. So take your 5 minutes for sure. So
yeah, you hear that, youngins? Y'all need to sit there and take y'all time. Don't crash out. Stay the course.
Exactly. Think about it.
For sure. Yeah, that's heavy too. Think about it before you
Think
react.
about
because
it.
I think a lot of them don't really think. And critical, that's a whole nother conversation. But critical thinking is definitely heavy too, where it's like, okay,
Definitely,
I need you to think
sure.
twice before you even try to act. Like, literally.
Think for sure. That's the main thing, because I know a lot of people, I hear that first instinct is just like, I didn't think about it. And I'll be like, that's what we're talking about. That's our process elimination. That's your first thing. We need to think before you react. And if you're able to do that, but that also goes back with coping skills. So being able to get your coping skills and understand what yours are, because everybody's coping skill is different. So me, where I input myself is being able to help with those coping skills. I'm a behavior specialist. So being able to help modify behaviors and what helps each kid, because everyone is different. Especially because you have some who are autistic, you have regular, everybody is different. And even us as adults, we have our own different things of how we cope with.
Oh, yeah, for
like
sure.
Yours is talking, mine could be singing, writing, things like that. So everyone just being able to find what it is.
For sure. No, I agree with that. So, like, with all of this stuff, though, like, self care has to come into play. So, like, what is the self care like for you?
Look, self care is hard for me. Everybody says, Courtney, you need to think about it. But recently, I did a modeling thing, and that was something I never thought I would do. But one of my homegirls, she was like, "You so pretty. Like, let me shoot you. I got a whole outfit. I got all this." And I went and I did it, and it felt amazing. So doing that, going to spas, doing massages and things like that. And like I said before, my injury, it was football. So being able to try and find something else outside of football, that was definitely hard, because being down for 2 years, it sucked. Like, and it wasn't as if it was my fault. My surgery got done wrong. So now getting my mental together to try and continue to say, like, oh, Courtney, you're going to be able to play again. But then it's like, dang, am I going to be able to play again? So kind of messing with my mental, but just always trying to keep a positive, you'll be back. And if not, I'll be doing something else, like coaching or something.
Yeah, for sure. Not for sure. God's timing, for sure.
Absolutely.
It's going to happen. You're going to play again. For sure. I see it. You're gonna play again.
Thank you.
I think self-care for me is just like decompressing. I feel like sometimes we get so caught up in the work. It's just like, how do you socially remove yourself from it? So It's not like checking the email, checking the notification, like, oh my gosh, what you want now?
For real.
But doing that, so I take walks. I'll take walks. I'll go running. I picked up running ever since like last year. So like that, got the little app now. I'm to get my steps in.
Yeah,
so,
there you go.
Yeah, get my steps in. So that's my workout every day. I make sure I hit like 10K steps a day.
That's it.
Yeah, I just try to do that, decompress, or, reading books. I think you could never, like I said, with information, there's so much out here.
Mm-hmm.
So just reading a lot of books, self-help books, or just journaling, reflecting, being honest, with
cooking.
yourself. Things like that. It
Absolutely.
can be different things. So that's how I tell myself and tell others sometimes. It's like, look, this is me time, and I'm socially unavailable. I could go watch a movie.
Absolutely.
No notifications.
Nothing else, just that.
Yeah, I just went to the movies like last week and just sat there and did that.
Exactly. I always think to myself, I'm just like, look, I'm going to take a trip. I love taking trips. So I'm like, I'm going to take a trip. One day I'm going to take one. I ain't going to have no phone, no nothing. I was like, because it used to, you remember before, you had to be off the phone by like 9. You couldn't get on the phone till 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because your minutes.
Yeah.
And you can only use a certain amount of minutes during the time before roll over. So it's like, trying to get back to that is like, because everything is so accessible. It's just like, I could get this, and it's just like, Courtney, chill out. I'm like even trying to go to sleep, and I find myself just strolling, or I'm just thinking of stuff. Like my mind is on like 100, and I'm just like, no, I gotta do it now. Because if I don't, I'm gonna forget. Yeah. So just being able to remind myself, like, no, just write it out. And so this year going into 2025 was where I got my journal, and I'm just like, all of any ideas that I have, just write it down so I'm able to come back to it.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, and it's like, you write the vision and you make it plain.
Absolutely.
That's what you gotta do. That's biblical for sure.
Absolutely.
And I think that at the same time, just realizing like the grace that you have to give yourself.
Absolutely.
It's not easy.
It is not. Because a lot of times people be like, you do amazing. I'm just like, I'm just doing what I'm here for. Like, I'm not that person. Like, I'm just here, and that's just how I see myself. I never see myself as open and like pushing myself like, oh, Courtney, you're this, you're that. That's never been me. So I always be in the background of stuff.
For sure. So like what you've been doing in the educational space, like I would definitely say I salute that. I commend that because one, it's not easy. You got to have the special heart for the youth, and you definitely have that. So,
you do, for sure.
Yes, for sure. I definitely commend you for that and those things of that nature. So, like, what is your motivation to the kids, to the community? Like, what would you tell people that feel down, out, lost, confused? Like, what would you tell those people?
I would say, one, you're not alone. So make yourself open. A lot of people feel as if they got to bottle everything up. I myself, dealing with a lot of things and just keeping everything. But I just feel like if nobody understands me, I can keep it up because I can trust myself, and being able to trust others, open up. That's one of the biggest things. A lot of people don't trust one another. But once you find that one person, being able to open up to others and just be willing to as well, because you could say that you want to and you want to do XYZ, you want to seek help, you want to do all of these things, but actually taking that step to do it is the biggest thing. And just know that you have a support. You know, you have the support. I tell a lot of people, look, we cannot talk for years, and if you hit me up like, Courtney, I just need to talk, I'm here. Call my phone, send me a DM, like, let me know. Like, if you need me to just sit and listen, I will. And I tell my kids a lot of the times that too, like, just come into a lot of them, I just need to talk. I need to give you some tea, they'll say. They say, yeah. And I just like, come on, like, just listen. And a lot of times I'm just listening. So a lot of times what we don't do is we don't listen. We sit there and we giving back like, no, you should do this, but we're not really hearing anybody out.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely say, like, for the youngins, like, you know, it's don't crash out.
Don't crash out.
Don't crash out. Stay the course.
Like,
you hop in the whip, you start the car, put it in drive, and keep going. Take as many breaks as you can. Don't put that thing in reverse. Don't put it in reverse. Don't
that
go
is
reverse.
it. Don't crash out.
Like, don't crash out, literally.
Because they don't honestly, when they think of the crash out, they don't think about what happens in the end or who they hurt. There's a lot of things that go on that a lot of people don't see. From, shoot, you got property damage, you got people that's getting hurt just to break up things. And then you have, you know, some older people that are in this business as well, and they're getting hurt. And some of them can't go home to their family. You messing up people's cars and all these things. Like, they don't really think, like, how this hurts or it affects people, especially if I'm struggling and now one of the kids done wrecked my car, they done stole it, they done did this. Like, they don't realize that there's consequences. They just think, oh, I'm going to get off, I'm underage. They changing stuff.
Oh, yeah, for
so
sure.
That ain't going to matter no more. It don't matter no more. So definitely just taking the time to think about it. Taking the time.
For sure. They got to definitely think before they react, for sure. And I think that at the end of the time, like, end of the day, just, like, find somebody you could connect to. Of course, you could have, like, family, mom, dad, uncle, aunt, sister, brother. But, like, find somebody that you really feel like, okay, cool. Like, I can talk to this person about, because I know for myself, like, my guidance counselor, my college professor, one of my high school teachers, like, it's still people I can still talk to this day that still be like, all right, hey, Jay, you good? Nah,
right.
For real, you really, really good. All right,
right.
If you need anything, I'm available. So, like, find those people and build your community, because you definitely going to need that, sure.
For sure. And, you know, it may be your family, may not be. Like, I know I have my sister here with me today. So she's definitely one of my supporters, especially since our mom died. We, like, we connected to the hip. So that's definitely, like, one thing that, you know, that we stuck with. Growing up, we was like, she would do her thing, I'd do my thing. But once that happened, it was like, nah, that was it. You know, getting her to push through what she needed to push through, making sure she got her high school diploma, she graduated from college, continued to play ball and things like that. I just felt like that was some things that I needed to do and give back to other people as well, and not just myself.
For sure. Well, like I said, I salute you for the work that you do. Keep elevating and keep growing. Like I tell people all the time, keep elevating, keep growing. Absolutely. Keep God in your life as well.
That's the number one.
That's the number one thing. Keep God in your life.
That's the number one.
For sure. And just keep doing what you do. And like I said, anywhere that we can support, looking forward to what 2025 brings and everything like that, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. And with that being said, the harder you grind, the bigger you dream.
The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream.
I said the harder you grind, the bigger you dream. And we out.